sound.
You can't handle the truth.
That's my job. Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Oh, the government tells me the date every day, and so I can't ever be wrong, right, government? Right? Anyway, it's August, I forgot, August 6th. It's a Thursday, trash day here at the Price House 2026. Well, guys, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Again, we had some Fauci news in the news of things today. Now, guys, I had to do... And this is what I don't understand about this. This guy has broken all kinds of, like, not only just kind of ethical things that you just shouldn't do, but to me, it's like he's crossed so many lines. But I had to sit here on my show and on the radio and make sure when my show went out on TV in different areas, I had to be very careful about language. I couldn't say vaccine. I couldn't say a shot. I had to call it the jab. I had to call it the government injections, all these different code words I had to use just to be able to talk generally about what was going on in our society. But I will tell you what got me on the idea. Like right here, it says, right here on the show, it says daily, right here, daily update, right there. Well, I was doing the Jim Price Show, right here. I was doing that on the radio, but the daily update, well, I had to do that because Trump was coming out with Fauci, Ouchie, and Birx. By the way, where's Miss Birx at? Where's the woman of 1,000 scarves? Where is she at? Nobody knows where she's at. Mrs. Burke, can you answer some questions about your participation in the, nothing. I do know that there are some people that are having some discussions about what's going to happen with Fauci's phone and the records that will be coming out or be disseminated from that. That's going to be a fairly interesting little conversation to see what his internal thoughts and what he thought it was okay to say to others on his phone, not just the diary he left on 11 different government servers. By the way, guys, listen, the only reason that we're even here right now, this is the part that you just should you just kind of do that, get your eyes all squinted down and you kind of crumple your face up and you're like, what? So the only reason that we have Fauci in the news right now at all is someone happened to find a file that was Dr. Fauci's book and diary. That's what he left on 11 separate government servers, 11 separate different computers. The only reason he's here is because of that. Now, you guys understand that a lot of the things that we're doing or we're having kind of come out seem to be happenstance, seem to be burn bag related, seem to be they just forgot to burn it, they forgot to get rid of it, or they wrote it down over and over and over again. Comey. I still, this is the part, I guess this is the one question I got to get. If I get a chance, I got to ask one of these masterminds, why do you guys keep writing down your crimes? I mean, you're the director of the FBI, and you're writing down during the meeting with the gentleman you're talking to, you're saying, should we kill him or just get rid of him? While you're sitting in the same room with the guy that you're talking about. You're talking about killing Trump or getting rid of him. Are we doing this? Are we killing him or just going after him politically? What? But see, now we know about all the other stuff that's coming out about the whole thing with the documentation that we just read yesterday. Remember the whitehouse.gov? I read that all the way through yesterday, telling you guys exactly what was going on with the Crossfire Hurricane and all this bullshit that was going on was completely. And guys, this wasn't like my case where it was like, there's about 15, 20 people involved. This is hundreds, if not thousands of people involved in this conspiracy. This is not a singular guy. This is not Comey. This is not just, Brennan, not just, I mean, it's everybody. Fauci knew. Everybody knew. Everybody knew. They all had the, right? They all knew. And I don't know what to tell you guys, but the fact that we even have this is where the miracles come in. But we do know that we opened an investigation through an executive order in the very first year of President Trump's first term, which had to do with election integrity. Yeah, but what do I know? I don't know. I just talk out of my ass. I make it all up. I don't know. You have any idea what I'm talking about? Anything I say, it's just make-believe. But this is the world we're living in right now. Now, I do know that there are things going on in the Middle East that you guys seem to be worried about or seem to care about, but it doesn't seem to really matter too much to anybody. I don't know. I've been looking around, and I've been trying to see how society itself and how other things are kind of, dealing with the Iran conflict. I don't think anybody really notices. When gasoline was up over $4, that got everybody pissed off. Now it's down in the $3 range. Everybody quit talking about it. I want my gasoline back down in the $2 range where it was before we started this shit. I want it back down to where it was $1 cheaper than it is now. I want to get back to those prices, but that's, what do I know? All right, guys. Well, there's a lot of stuff in the news. Like I said, you guys can look it up, and we can go over some of these things later, but I do have a special guest with me today. This gentleman has been here several times before. Joe, good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. How have you been, buddy?
I've been living the dream, Jim. Life is good, brother.
Yeah, I understand. So, Joe, now I text you the other. Let me do this real quick. Joe, go ahead and let's introduce you and your website, and then I'll ask you some dumb questions after that.
You don't have any dumb questions in you, Jim.
Come on.
Owner, founder, ironhawkfinancial.com. Interested in meeting me or my team, learnwithhawk.com. We'll teach you how to kick the government and the Wall Street out of your financial life, saving you millions of dollars over your life. And that's what we do at Ironhawk with over 4,000 clients and over $4 billion of protection and rollovers in my 24-year career. And how many complaints do I have? Let's see. What's 4 minus 4? Oh, that would be 0.
There you go.
So, yeah, a lot of happy people saving a lot of money.
Oh, that's great. Now you got started in this. Now let me do the real quick here. I've known Joe for a little bit, so I'm gonna veer way off the conversation for a second here. Your Lombardi name, okay, we all know that, okay, but you're related to who?
Super Bowl champion Vince Lombardi.
No, that's not
Great
what I'm talking
uncle.
about. No, that's not what I'm talking about. There's something else that came out here. Is it true? Are you related to somebody? Are you related to somebody? I asked you to text message a while back. Did you remember that?
I will have to look at this. Luckily I have your cell phone number. So we've been friends for a couple of years. Let me check this out.
What's happened here? It says, how many people have asked you directly about being related to Erica Kirk?
0.
Are you?
Hell no.
Oh, okay. Okay, all right. What it was is something was like going across. I think this was a while back. Obviously, it's 3 months ago, several months ago. But what it was there was these names that crossed, I'm like, are they related? Anyway, so that's why I had to ask you that. Anyway. So
I hope not. But no, I've never heard that in my life.
Yeah. No, there was so that was a Jim Priceism. That's me doing my stringboard stuff. That's me trying to does my friend Joe cross through here? Like, what's Joe doing in here?
Hey, I have a chubby face, but I don't think I look like her at all.
No, I think you're better looking than she is, partner. I apologize, but there's a lot to that. And she has to live her life and do the best she can do, and she got to make the decisions she's got to make. God bless her, whatever. But anyway, I was just that was just a curiosity thing for me, on that. But yes, you do have an uncle, who seems to be related to the NFL. By the way, would your uncle even recognize the NFL today and the wokeism that they have compared to what he was doing?
No, I mean, look at the NBA, and people try to compare LeBron James to Jordan. You try to compare Tom Brady, to Roger Staubach. Like, these people, every game they're having broken ribs, they're having broken legs, they're trying to come back the next game. I mean, now it's like you breathe on the quarterback. They're like 15-yard penalty. So no, everything is weaker today on purpose. They feminize men,
Yep.
they masculize women, and they don't want you to not know your gender, and they want the men weak as hell, the strong, the women they try to make them stronger. And again, if you can't beat a woman, just become one and beat them in wrestling. I mean, what else can you do?
Can we have this talk about the WNBA that there's a bunch there's a bunch of dudes playing there already and they're just trying not to let the cat out of the bag? Can we just talk about that?
Dude, it's so funny. Like, pay us what we're worth, and they go to like what their annual income is. The WNBA loses tens of millions of dollars a year, so everybody who plays WNBA would have to pay like $200,000 a year to play to break even because the NBA subsidizes the WNBA. We're living in backwards world. It doesn't matter what it is. You could pick a topic. Doesn't matter. Cars, weather. I mean, we know that's manipulated. Anything you want, religion. I mean, you can pick any topic, and everything is just upside down world.
What if Brittany Reiner, the one that they bailed out of Russia for the weed charges?
Oh, Brian Reiner. Yeah. What about him?
There you go. I was being cool.
Isn't that Michelle Obama's brother? I mean, Michael Obama's brother.
It has to be, man. Seriously. Okay. Do you see the video of that playing basketball in the backyard pool in Arizona? Have you seen that video?
I have.
I'm like, dude, where's your boobs?
She got to put him on. She got to install. He's got to install them.
Yeah. You got to put the little pad in.
Yeah, you got to put the cups in.
Got to get the padding on so you don't get hurt during the game. Well, I do appreciate the candor in this conversation. I don't get to really break this up too much with people. I do like this.
Oh, you mean speak the truth?
Yeah.
A lot of people are too scared their reputation is going to be... I don't give a crap about my reputation, man. I am who I am, and I don't give a damn. And either like me for who I am or you don't. Either way, I sleep like a baby at night.
Yeah. I don't get why it's like... listen, I said this to the ladies the other day. I said, ladies, stop. Can we just take this seriously and quit doing this inclusive? Oh, you're a beautiful woman. No, you're a dude tucking your pecker back. That's not a woman. Just because he says he's a woman, it's like if I say I'm a woman because I have long hair, that doesn't work either. I mean, I don't. Anyway, it drives me crazy.
Well, you know why they did that? So the pedophiles go to Epstein Island and say they're 12 years old when they're 48 years old, so they can bang kids. That's that's what this was all about. That was their end game, is banging children. I mean, they've been doing it for hundreds of years. We're number one sex traffic country in the world, United States. So why is porn free? I mean, I can go on and on and on and on.
But who owns Pornhub? What country owns Pornhub?
Actually, please tell me. I haven't heard this one. I would assume us. Oh, England?
No.
Europe?
No, the little doily guys.
Oh, the Jews. Yeah, of course. Yeah, they own everything. So that was a dumb question.
Sorry, I didn't mean. I was trying to like the little.
Yeah, what do the Jews don't own?
But the problem is they own Pornhub, so they don't mind Pornhub being out there and doing all that. And I think they even own OnlyFans. Is that right? Is there a tie to OnlyFans too?
I would agree with you. Yeah, they own everything.
So, but my problem with it is if they're trying to elevate everybody's spirituality and get them closer to God, then why are you betraying them?
They're not doing that.
They're not. I thought
the Statue of Liberty is a dude. The Statue of Liberty is Satan. Look at the chain around his right ankle, and that's it. And they call it the Big Apple. You wonder why? Adam and Eve, maybe. So when you look at it, and then you look at where's Washington D.C. It's in between Virginia and Maryland, and then Trump is building his what? His ballroom, BAAL. So when you really understand, this whole world is run by negative energies, demons. We're in a spiritual warfare, and if you don't think you are, then I'm sorry, you're still asleep. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's the sad part of this is that I want to be able to have the conversation, but it gets too glassy eyed for some people. They get very like, what do we like? What do you mean? But we don't want to believe that we battle against principalities and powers of the air. because we think of air as everything above us, right? But we don't think about the air that we breathe into our body, right? And then so how do we have exorcisms? How do we have demon possession? How do we have all these? Because it's always around us. Everything's around us. So when you lower your frequency, things can come in.
Yes.
But we don't talk that way. We don't talk like that. There's a government that could have devised that, Jim. Right?
Speak, bro. I'm all about frequency, vibration, energy, and elevating. I shed demons like an onion. You get rid of one, 3 more pop up.
Oh, yeah.
And you just have to just keep it's a fight, right?
Yeah.
We have to fight to continue to grow our lives spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. I mean, you look great, by the way. If you're on the radio, Jim looks absolutely amazing. So when, and all those spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically are all what? They're multipliers to our financial health. Mm-hmm. That's why you hear when people say, "Oh, I won the lottery," or "I was a rapper and made $200 million," or I was a sports athlete and now I'm bankrupt after I'm done. It does not matter how much money you make. It is a fallacy. God gives you enough money to live, and you choose what to do with those dollars. Now, if you worship the dollar, you're worshiping the devil. And if you take those dollars in, because again, I have clients who make $87,000 a year combined, husband, wife. You're talking about a nurse and a firefighter. They're pulling in 87 grand. They're worth $3 million. And then I have clients that they own a company. The wife's a lawyer. They make $780,000 a year, and their net worth is negative. Their net worth is negative because they have more debt than they do assets. That's called a negative net worth. So people have this misconception like, oh, if only I made more money. Well, if only you made more money, you do the same thing with 30 million that you would do with your 30,000 a year. You would blow it because you're trying to fill a hole in your heart that you have not filled with Yahweh. Because his name's not Jesus. It's Yahweh. Jays didn't exist 2,000 years ago. So when you really understand the truth of religion, the truth of the Bible, the truth of are we on a flat earth or a globe? Well, you can do your own research on that. When you really understand what we are God's children. Mm-hmm. What does that mean? Well, my son, 2 sons, my daughter, right? They have my blood. So they are my children. Well, guess what? We have God's blood. Right? Even if it was spliced by, the book of Enoch, and all types of crazy, which King James took out of the Bible, by the way, which that's a whole nother story. We live in 13 months, not 12 months. And April Fool's Day is the first day of the year. We can go down like 1,000 rabbit holes.
But think about how easy it is to have that conversation, though. See, I initially, when I started talking about this, I felt uneasy about like the April 1st thing. But then after I saw that it actually made more sense to me, I was like, well, this is easier. Like I can do 13 months and not 28 days, 30, 31, 92, 50. I could just balance my life out.
Then there's a leap year thrown in there for fun. Yeah.
But you know what that does? It keeps us out of our balanced frequency in our own lives because we're not working in a balanced calendar. We're not working with the circadian clock of our eyes. By the way, Joe, here's something I will tell you, and this is going to break the internet. I believe this with all of my being. Time is local. The railroads created the time zones. Time was always local. So your sundial, when the sun came up and when the sun went over, it was your noon at the highest point of your day, and then the sun went down, but time was always local. It was never universal. And so now that we have this universal time, it takes us out of our sequence of our environment where we live and where the sun is at. We're living off of Chicago time or LA time or Miami or this or that. We're not living off of time is local. And because 100%. They took it away from local and distributed it, we're not balanced and sitting with our balance of our environment, the birds, the animals, the seasons. We're not in balance anymore. And the local time thing is, if they get rid of the daylight savings time, that'll be a big deal. I hope so. Then everybody
already
says
passed Congress. It's
well,
in the Senate right now.
Senate, yeah, but that's Thune, and he's a big old dragon ass nothing. So I hated when he got nominated. I was like, why did they nominate this guy? And then he's just proved me right. And
you didn't see his NASCAR jacket? Sicko, pharmaceutical companies, Wells Fargo. Politicians would
Manhattan.
Just wear their NASCAR jacket. At least we know who owns them because it's not them. They don't own their freedom of speech. Because if they don't listen to these people, they die. So
Well,
It's pretty simple. You either take the bribe or your children die. I mean, look at Jordan's dad.
well,
Like
LeBron
if
James is gonna have to, when he retires in 2 years. What, he has to sacrifice a kid. You
yeah,
know
well, look
that,
what
right?
happened to Kobe. I mean, look at the rapper. There's a video of a rapper
He's got
crying,
that.
drinking vodka because he knew his son had to die, and his son had to sign that yes, I will be sacrificed for your success, Dad. I mean, it's just crazy crap.
That was my mom tried to get me to do that. I'm not kidding you. My mom was so pissed when I ran away at 15 because she was trying to do stuff, and I ran away. She's like, I lost everything. I lost my house and my job. All this because of you. And it's like, no, you were making a deal with the devil, not me. You were just trying to use me as currency. I'm not your currency.
Holy
Don't do that.
Shoot, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, my mom passed 3 years ago, and people are like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, the clock is over, man. It's over.
My mom wanted to murder me before I was born. She literally got on her knees and begged my dad to abort me, and my dad was pro-life. So you wonder if I'm Democrat or Republican. Well, if I was Democrat, I wouldn't be here. So I really don't have a choice. So
that's a problem. If I was born a year later, I would have been aborted because abortion came in the year after I was born. And my mom talked
begged,
about
like literally begged. And then when I turned 4, she took everything, house, cars, all assets, bank account, and then took me in 1988. And then said, come get your son or I'll put him in an orphanage after she cleared all the assets out.
Yep.
And then my dad picked me up in a truck with $500, a TV, and a van. And we lived in Trumbull, Connecticut in an attic with no running water. And I used to be the poor, fat, smelly kid who used to sleep on the floor, shit and piss in a bucket, and wear the same Tasmanian devil shirt with a hole in it. And my feet are still clawed to this day because I couldn't afford shoes. So I was wearing sizes that were two sizes too small for me.
Yep. That's how it works. But see, the thing is, now look at the difference in the desire. And we're not doing anything, but we're just talking right now. Look at the difference in desire, and what you see as the most precious in your life is the family, is the relationship, is having those things that gives you stability, having the lights on overhead, having the water running. You know, those are the things. And look what you've done to make sure that doesn't happen to you, your children. But that's what men do constantly. We do these things for our families, but nobody hears the story of where we came from.
About us. They don't. The society does not give a shit about men. We're the first to die in war. We're the GoFundMe pages aren't for men.
No, we're thrown into war. We're thrown out of airplanes. We're thrown out of tanks. We're thrown out of boats. Hey, just go. No. Yeah.
Have fun. We're gonna throw you in front of 738 machine guns. Now go run towards it with a rifle and go kill the people in the machine gun bunker.
Thou shalt not live in fear.
Yeah.
Run at that gun. I don't think this is what the Bible meant, but sure, let's go for it.
Let's go run at 700 machine guns on Normandy, and yeah.
So when we think about what your journey was, mine, very similar stuff, and the idea that so here's what my Christian guardians. When I moved out, when I ran away, I say moved out because I always try to kind of make it sound a little less than running away. She turned me in as a runaway. I would have been picked up as a felon. They'd have taken me to juvie for the whole thing. Anyway, when I was just going to tell you something about that, and I totally spaced on it. But, so when I left at 15, Marge and Charlie were so Christian, though. They were so religious that they would only give me sanctuary. They would not treat me like a family member because they knew I was a felony runaway. And so they would, in their heart, and this is what they told me directly. I'm not making this up. I'm like, I think that's what they meant. They sat me down and said, we will give you shelter and we will provide you food, but we cannot give you any money. We cannot, do anything for you. You have a place to stay. And I was like, wow, you could have stepped in and been my parents, but you didn't take that opportunity. And that's the moment where we miss the humanity of it. And that's why, Joe, when you talk about your kids and you talk about your dad and you talk about your mom, I can hear that. I can hear the same tone. I can hear the same voice because we've had those people that when we reached out for them, they weren't there. The people that
my grandmother told my dad, don't expect me to be his mom when he came up. Yeah. I grew up in the streets.
Yeah.
My dad was working on a construction company. He was gone all the time. I grew up in TLC. I called it Torturing Little Children, but it was called Tender Love and Care Daycare in Madison Middle School in Trumbull, Connecticut.
What was the one?
Got dropped off at 6 a.m., was picked up at 6 o'clock, dropped off at my grandmother's house. She would chain smoke cigarettes in the kitchen till I got a migraine while I did my homework. And I literally, you know what I had my whole childhood growing up? I had a racquetball that I threw against the garage. the garage door. That was my entertainment. A blue racquetball that I'd go outside when it wasn't raining and just throw it up against the wall and catch it. That's what I
that's all
did
you
for
had.
like years.
That's all
And
you
then I
had.
would go home, pull out the mattress from underneath the couch, go sleep on the floor, and that was my life. I had nobody, and
So
I
Joe, answer the question to the public. Why do I have this? Why do I have this sitting on my shelf in my show? Why do I have that?
because you probably wanted it when you were a child and couldn't afford it.
And nobody understands that.
Yep. They don't get it.
I go to
They
estate
have.
sales. I go to estate sales, and this is a brand new 19 like 80
Because
or
that
70,
was something you wanted
and
as
I
a child
never
and couldn't have.
had one. And this
Yeah.
has a little working little thing with the blade and the whole thing.
I buy Michael Jordan like 11s and 12 shoes that sit in my closet because all the other kids used to make fun of me because my shoes were from Marshalls. And I don't know if you understand Marshalls in the 90s, in the early 90s.
We had Pro
Like,
Wings.
literally, you would buy Nautica and there would be misspellings. It would be purple socks. My grandmother would go to Marshalls, come home with a garbage bag full of clothes and say, I spent $12. And I go, oh no.
Yeah.
It would be I mean, again, if you were to pick the clothes now, that's what you see in the mall for $100 a shirt. But it wasn't cool back in the 90s when you have these name brands, FIFA, the Shaq shoes. Remember the Shaq shoes that were like $12.99?
They were at Payless Cashways. I got my shoes at Payless Cashways.
Yep. I've been there several times. So
they were called Pro Wings, and they had a little weird little thing on it called Pro Wings. I would cut them. I cut the
Fila when Fila first came out, and it was like a nothing brand.
Yeah.
Fila.
Yeah.
FILA. Oh my God. People would be like, what are those? Like, all I have to say is I'm lucky that I wasn't born in like technology, because there would be 700 memes on how poor I was.
Oh yeah. It'd have been it. I'd have been that, because I had the shell toe shoes when I was littler, and my foot would flop out on top of it. So the canvas would cut at the shell toe, and so you'd have well, they weren't shells, but they were just I don't know what those stupid shoes are. They're kind of like a Converse effect, where they have a little and so they would flip out, and your toe would be on top of it, and that was embarrassing because your shoe was ripped, and
it's always your big toe sticking out. It's never like any other. It's your big toe sticks out. Yeah, I've been there.
Better have your good socks on that day, so you don't.
Well, I had to cut my shoes because literally my feet hurt. Even to be in gym class to run. Oh, it was the most painful thing ever. So
I learned to run with my shoes off. I just took my shoes off. I didn't know that was
weird. They didn't let me. They said in order to be part of gym, you had to wear shoes. So I literally grabbed scissors and I cut the front part of the shoe so my toes stuck out and didn't freaking break when I was running.
Right. And then that crazy that said, now listen, you are 10, 15 years younger than I am. How old are you now?
84 I was born, so I'm 42.
42. So you're just you're like what? 12 years younger than I am.
Right.
So the thing is, we're not that far apart, but remember this, I was in the age of, well, if you talk to the counselor and they'll help you and they'll rescue you, but you had full on CPS, Child Protective Services,
nobody gave a shit about me. I wasn't a girl.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
If you're a boy, they don't just rub dirt on it. I mean, the late 80s, early 90s, if you had a penis, you were less than. Boys. I mean, that's how it is today, to be honest. But you were less than, and that's continued for the last 30 something years of my life.
Boys don't cry.
Exactly. Right? Sticks and stones will hurt my, break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
So that's why I'm working on trauma release now, because I'm having to release all the bullshit that I held in.
I had to go through hypnotherapy, psychotherapy. I had to go through hospital trained therapy.
Oh wait, hey Joe, you're fine. You don't need that shit. What are you talking about, dude? You're just a man. You don't need psychological help.
I mean, to have your own mom,
what are you doing?
Not want you, and then every time you visit her, mandatory once a year, she tells you you're fat, you're ugly. Oh, this is what your dad's doing to you. Look, you're less than. Yeah, it was amazing. And while she's pounding bottles of wine, that's why she died at 52 years old, cirrhosis liver, because she would drink 3-4 bottles of wine, blow a couple rails, and then tell me I'm a piece of shit. Hey, it was wonderful.
Hey, this right here, this is a documentation. This is my mother's birth certificate, okay? This right here is my brother's birth certificate. You know what's wrong? I have my birth certificate right here, and they don't match. That's how good my mom was. The day of my birth, she lied about her birthday by a year and a day.
My name is wrong on my birth certificate. They have me like the third when me and my dad have different middle names. Like my wife was like looking through my files. She's like, all your shit's wrong. I'm like, yeah, my mom was probably fucking high as shit. and put all the wrong information down for
Yeah.
my name to the government.
So if you would have had a problem, like a real problem, and you're like, you had no evidence of who you are, and you're like, well, my name is this, and my mother's name is this,
Yeah.
and my mother's and my dad, they would have been like, well, we don't have any of that. None of this is matchy. And so if they would have looked for me to be like,
I was
mom's
born
birth
at Bridgeport
certificate.
Hospital in Connecticut. I have a Florida Social Security number because they moved to Clearwater like a year into my, that's 8 months into my life, and they never filed for my Social Security card until they were in Florida. So I have a Florida Social Security number.
Yeah. And that's what we do. This is the sins of our forefathers, right? And we could talk
Awesome.
about this at the micro level down here where we're talking about our personal effect, but we know that these things also affect us in the global effect of things, right? The whole big scheme. So we can actually see that when people do little lies, they compound. We're joking about it. We're having fun with it, but we both have cried.
What are we
gonna
do? Cry about it? No one cares if we
not
cry.
now. It can't now.
So now we're just trying to say, listen, you think your life's bad? Look what Jim went through. Look what I went through. Yeah. And we don't need sympathy. I don't need anyone to reach out and say, oh, I'm so sorry. Everything. I'm a multi-millionaire. I grinded my balls off for 30 years in this industry, and I built everything I have, and I used that pain, that suffering, and I turned it into fuel to grind win and get the word out and go on cool ass shows like the Jim Price Show and create like sponsorships with Dr. Tenpenny and Dave Hodges and Sarah Westall and do a 10-part series with Scotty Sachs. And I got to just go out there and scream from the rooftop that, listen, life's not fair. It's not supposed to be fair. Yeah. You can either be a victim or you can be a victor, and that is your choice.
Well, when you're saying all that, you're saying, okay, this is our choice, right? That is the point. But here's what when I look out of the camera here, I see the comments rolling through. I've got a lot of people I'm doing health and wellness coaching for now, and because I've done it in my own body, I know exactly how it works for everybody else. But my point is that as we're going through all these things, what pisses me off, Joe, and let me take that back. The word is wrong. The word is wrong. What really hurts me the most is I watch somebody sitting around with a little hangnail, a little bitty piece of skin off the side of their little thumbie here, or off their little pinky over here, and it's this little bitty nothing. And they're like, I can't even get out of bed, and I don't understand, I can't even, and my number, I'm like, this is your holdback for today? Yep. I mean, I didn't see my mom for 3 or 4 days at a time. I was the bartender at the parties and handing out the coke and weed. Like, what are you talking about? The hangnail is your problem?
Yeah, I got my ass beat by people in the street all the time. Then robbed, my bike stolen. I mean,
watch people get ran over. Had a gun at my head at 15. I said, pull the trigger if you're man enough.
Pulled on me. Yeah,
let's do it. Let's do it. If you're man enough, they had the gun to my forehead. I leaned in. I said, if you're man enough, pull the trigger.
Yeah, that's nuts. I just gave them the $7
but when you're that
I have.
done, dude, when you're that done at 15.
Yeah, you don't care.
And that's why I left. When I knew that I could do that, I left.
Yeah. I left. Well, the thing between me and you, Jim, it gets to a point where you don't care if you live or die. I used to drive 140 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I've tried every drug there is. Luckily, I didn't like any of them, or I wouldn't be here. When you look at it, we are. I was in a troubled group at Fairfield Woods Middle School. I had the highest ISS in school suspensions out of anybody in the last 30 years for this school. I had 122 out of 180 days. None of them were malicious, never hurt anybody. I was just a class clown. I just wanted attention. My mommy didn't want me, and my daddy was gone all the time. So I just wanted to feel like I'm alive because the only attention I got was negative. So I wanted to make people laugh. Right. So I'm in this group. There's about 22 kids. We were 13, 8th grade. And by the time I turned 18, out of the 22 kids, 18 of them were dead. Suicide, car accident, overdose. Somebody drank too much alcohol, threw up in their mouth, suffocated to death in bed. A car accident where killed 4 of them. Hit a tree in back roads. So there's 4 of us alive.
Right.
So I believe I have a guardian angel. I see 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe it's stepping stones that God kept me here to keep growing spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially, to grow my vibrations, my frequency, my energy, and to shoot from a rooftop that, what my personal business is that you're getting screwed financially.
Yeah.
That Wall Street has colluded with the federal and state governments. They're stealing 50% of the money that you contribute to your 401k, IRA, SEP, simple pension. And then when you pull the money out, federal and state governments are stealing 50% of your money. So you're getting 20% of what you put in there, and 80 is being stolen by demonic leeches, Wall Street and the federal and state governments. So I free people from that.
Well, no, wait. Now, those are voluntary leeches, because I'm going to tell you right now, if you really don't want to play in the system, and I don't need to jump on you, you don't have to, folks.
You don't. You go private sector.
You just do it completely not with them.
Correct.
And that's what I don't understand. It's like, no, I got to go to the stock exchange. My 401k
Oh, it's the
is like...
funniest thing, Jim. I hate the government, but my money's in the government bank. My money's in the government Fidelity and investment account. All my money's in the government, but I hate the government. I don't trust the government. They try to give me this jabby thing that I wasn't going to take. Well, but yet I leave all my money in the government. Like again, not to be rude, but are you stupid?
Right.
And
which
so
math?
when you look at it, and people are like, well, then gold and silver. Well, that's that's
a whole scam, buying in and buying out.
Oh my God, dude! I can tell you stories.
So the buying, I'll give you a quick story. I'll give you a quick rundown, and there's a lot bigger numbers in this. But when you buy in, you can lose 20, 30% buying in, even up to 80% of the value of the money. Like if you said, I'm gonna give you $100,000, it's very plausible that you're only getting about 20 grand in silver or gold.
Correct.
And then when you sell out, let's say they say, oh, yeah, you have 100,000. Then they're like, oh, well, after fees and services, here's your 20,000.
I have clients that bought a gold and silver IRA, and I have all the receipts if you want to see it. I'm bringing on my podcast, Money Talk with Ironhawk.
Yeah.
Where they bought in 2.5 years ago for 50 grand. And when they cashed out, they got 44. And they bought nothing but gold. That was up 268%, but their account was down 12%. Make that make sense.
I had a hard lesson on that, because and here's the thing. I always tell people, everything in your life is only worth what the pawn shop will pay for it.
You're not wrong.
Take your gold ring, take your little gold ring off your wedding ring, whatever it is, Mrs., and you may have paid $100,000 at Zales for this ring. Go down to the pawn shop. This is just a copper ring with a ruby in it, but I don't have a $100,000 ring.
Yeah, don't rob him, people. He doesn't have that. I promise. I'm looking.
The $12 I have is not worth stealing. So, but if you take this down there and you say, Mr. Pawn Shop, what is this worth? And he's like, 12,000. That's what it's really worth, guys. All day long. You could try to go get retail on Facebook Marketplace or whatever. You can try
and then when they reverse the payment on you,
right?
Or eBay charges 12% in fees, or Amazon,
or they give you fake cash or whatever it is. But anyway, the point of it is, guys, is that there are so many ways now that we all rely on the government to protect us, but there are so many scams within the government that are worse than the private sector scams. And this is where I want people to understand that the government telling you run into 401ks, they devised 401ks because it benefits the government.
401ks used to be tax-free. 401ks used to be pensions. They have guaranteed rates of return. And then Wall Street was sitting there in the late 70s saying, ooh, look at all that money just sitting there like cattle, fat cattle.
You mean Social Security account? Like the Social Security account over there on the side? Don't touch that?
Oh, yeah. Well, they've been hitting Social Security and Medicare forever. But and they literally, all they did was they bought politicians. They said, hey, Bob, you want like, I don't know, 200 grand just to vote yes on Bill 1,812?
Do you want me to give you a solid retirement you and your wife can live off of at $100,000 a year for the rest of your life? Where do I vote? That's it. Yeah. That was the answer. It was never that they give them a gold bar. By the way, why are we not talking about that whole gold bar thing? There was a congressman, he just got convicted guilty, had 20 gold bars.
Yeah. 20 pounds of gold in his house. Yeah, it was a CIA operative.
But yet, hold on.
Yeah.
Some of it's still missing. Like they said that he should still have more, but they don't know where that's at. Okay, but he's a CIA congressman, but he's intel, but he's got gold bars, but then they got mad at him and convicted him of having gold bars. But yet, it's like, what are we, like, so wait, okay, so everything that we just said there is real because we've read 100%. This on a case. This is a court case.
It's a real life court case, yes.
But if I said the government can control you through your headphones, the government can bring colors and lights and sounds into your TV, and they're like, My government doesn't do bad things. They would never go after individual. There is a congressman, an elected congressman, who has gold bars that they filed an ethics violation and it brought criminal charges that then said that all the gold bars aren't there because he's a CIA operative, that he should have had more.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Can we all just stop lying to each other? How about
they tell us. The devil has to tell you what you do. We watch TV. What is it? Television. They're telling you a vision. It's all bullshit.
Can we just stop?
Then you're like, what? I changed the channel. What is it called? The program. Oh, the TV program. The programming.
Yeah, it's programming.
So it I don't understand how people
when you talk about TV
this.
the programming, you get the TV guy.
Look at the movies.
It was the
Every
nightly
movie
programming.
they showed you.
Yeah. It was
the devil has to show you what he does. You have to do nothing, and then therefore you're compliant to anything that he wants to do. That's why they have these movies like Waterworld, where tsunamis come. They have these movies where they tell you I, Robot, where the robot's going to take, because they have to show you what they're planning on doing. Now, whether God, Yahweh allows that to happen, that's another story. But
whether
this
you're
is
willing
their
to get
agenda.
up and do anything about it. Will you get up and do anything?
No, nobody does anything. They're too late. We're too comfortable here in America. We're all.
That's why we got LGBTYQ, because everybody's too busy thinking up weird shit because they're not trying to eat. If I had to worry about
transgender, look at Germany when Hitler took over, all the transgender crap they had back then, they burned all the books. This is just history repeating, guys. It's very simple, right? Strong men make good times.
Yep.
Good times make weak men. Weak men make hard times. Hard times make strong men. You see the loop? We are in the latter part of that. We have men who think they're women. We have women who think they're men. We have homosexuality running rampant. Yep. We have transgenderism, which is gender dysphoria. It's literally in the book of medicine as a disease. Imagine someone has schizophrenia and you're like, Jim, I see the spiders crawling on the wall too.
It's a preference.
3 of them, Jim? No, there's 4. I mean 4, Jim? There's 4 spiders crawling on you? Did you name them?
I have a preference. It's not your preference, so you can't judge me because my preference is my preference.
They have litter boxes in school where kids go take a dump in the corner of the room.
That little girl.
They got furries.
Yeah,
I got furries in my kid's school.
No, you don't.
Really? Oh, dead ass, I do. They changed their name. They shaved their head. They take. These are girls.
I think they should shave their head. That way we identify exactly.
Well, we can identify. They put green. They put green dye in their hair. Then they wear these little ears, like cat ears. Then they have tails. Then they hop around like kangaroos. And this shit is normal. And people are like, hi Fido. Okay, hi Fido. These are 12, 13, 14-year-old. But they just have mental illness because they're programmed by the culture. Think of a computer. We're computers, right? So you think of a computer.
Yeah.
Bill Gates made all this money doing what? Selling antivirus. Well, in order to sell antivirus, what do you have to do? Create viruses. Does that sound like COVID?
You have to create weak programs that viruses affect.
Yeah.
And then you sell the cure. You give the vaccine, and then you sell the cure for the vaccine, right? Oh.
Yes. Yeah. And why was the coronavirus patented 5 years before it even came out? I mean,
why was it on Lysol cans when it very first started getting talked about? On the Lysol cans, I still have them. It said
it was dated before it came out in 2018.
It says COVID-19 and gets rid of COVID-19. I'm like, wait. You guys knew Lysol knew this was going to come out
with the date of when it was produced, so you can't argue. It's not the Bearstein Bears, Bearstein Bears. It's not that bullshit.
It's not. It's not this 2014. Fort Riley COVID-19 Moderna shot given out to a Fort Riley soldier right here.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. Yeah. That was 2014. That was 2014. Yeah. So don't worry about that. That's fine.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. Yeah. Only 15 million people were murdered by Fauci. Don't worry about it.
8 billion shots.
He makes Hitler look like you had a stub toe.
8 billion shots. Someone needs to be held liable,
and it's not. It's not what they say it is.
No, snake venom the whole way. It's 2 different parts of a snake venom pump. By the way, we invented the heart attack gun in the 50s with a little bitty ice crystal the size of a piece of rice. They could take a weapon across the room within 20 to 30 feet. They could shoot this ice crystal into any part of your skin, and you would like, oh, what was that? And it was actually snake venom that would go into your skin, go in and give you a heart attack within 2 weeks.
Are you talking about the Hillary Clinton kiss of love? That was no, it didn't do that, Jim. I thought it just gives you hugs and kisses.
It makes you feel warm inside right before
That's what I thought.
You feel all warm, like, oh, yeah.
You didn't see all those whistleblowers at 36, 32. You don't see all those people that create cars that run on water and then they post it online and then like 2 weeks later they mysteriously die of a heart attack. You never seen those?
I was 8 or 9. I wasn't in fifth grade yet. I wasn't in sixth. I know I was before fifth grade. I watched Cake News right down here, Wichita, Kansas, interview a guy in his driveway. He starts a motor up on an engine stand. Vroom, it runs on air, ladies and gentlemen. Vroom, 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 vroom. That was in the 70s. Where's that guy at?
If you go against the machine, you're gonna die. It's literally that simple. It is what it is.
Air.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how silly I feel that our government has. Let me ask you this. Let's say the government gets what it wants, wouldn't it just continue trying to find something else it wants? I don't think it ever stops consuming, does it?
No, you're talking about the machine wanting to stop machining?
Yeah.
That's like a cheetah not after eating a mouse, not wanting another one a couple hours later.
Yeah. Too much hair. But see, the problem is that the government was built to say no. And we do that purposely because we feel like we need a guardrail to ourselves, right? And a lot of this we instituted ourselves, but we don't manage our constitutional representative republic in a self-governance way that allows us to have the authority over our government, and our government then just takes the authority from us, right?
Yeah, so I mean, you're talking about a government that owns the educational system. The educational system
Ghislaine Maxwell's father owned all the books for 50 years in the education system.
Yep. So the government owns the educational system. The educational system tells you to invest in the government, get medical procedures from the government, listen to the government, how to be an employee, how to raise your hand to go to the bathroom.
You play sports for the government because you have a school team, right?
Yep. Everything is, and when you look at three things, you got school, jail, and a nursing home. They're all built the exact same way.
Yeah.
While you're a kid, they throw you in jail, known as school. Yeah. When you don't follow their directions, they throw you in jail. And then when you get old, before you die, they throw you in jail, take all your money, Title 19, and then you die alone in a cinder block room with a stranger, with somebody who doesn't care about you, cooking for you and taking care of you. And you wonder why people don't wake up. Who's going to take care of my future self? I need to save money. And that all stems through division and self-hatred.
Yep.
If we're all divided and all hate ourselves, no one's going to save. No one's going to be at those islands to bang all those kids. No one's going to be at the resorts. And the rich and the ultra rich get to do whatever the hell they want.
What?
And the peasants get to go make all the money in the fields.
What? Yeah, but see, remember, what did we see? It was just that, what was that little thing 2 months ago where we saw the two-tiered system come in, where we didn't see the same kind of prosecution or persecution through the elevated status of others, meaning that the government has a system and then there's the rest of us?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, look at Pelosi, 180,000 a year with 500 million. So when you understand it's rules for thee, not for me.
I thought her husband was gay though, didn't he turn out gay or something? With that?
Yeah, he was hammering some guy on the news or something. I don't know, someone with hammers. I don't remember.
Hammer time.
So when you understand it, right? You have rich people crime, which you go to where you could steal $200 million from someone. They throw you in a racquetball club,
in a non-gated jail. It's a non-gated jail, which is far more insecure than the gated community they came from.
Well, they put them in there to keep them from dying because the general public will hang somebody like Bernie Madoff, if you really, really think about it, or P. Diddy.
Yeah.
You know, what he did to that girl and all the crazy things with all the baby oil. You know, there might be some baby oil PETA.
Well, you know what that was is they were you were taking the drugs and you're putting it in the baby oil.
Yeah,
so
it was a way to 100%.
Dermis, you put it through the skin, the baby oil on the skin, and then you would.
Oh, it lasts forever. It was probably like Viagra with cocaine mixed with God knows what.
There you go. But I bet there was probably a lot of coke in it, and then there was probably a little bit of Molly or something to.
Yeah, like a triple sec E or something. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and that's the sad part of it, is that those things can be. And this is what. Let me talk about something real quick, guys. We kind of talked about that in a dirty way, but let me tell you the idea behind the molecules that open up the heart chakras and open up the energy of the soul. And Molly can be used for a lot of great reasons, and MDMA can be used for it.
Microdosing.
Yeah.
Yep,
also
100%.
your psilocybins,
Shrooms.
also your ibogaine, which I really am looking forward to. I'm trying to work out a time where I can go do an ibogaine treatment because I really need to reset some of the PTS. I've really done great to really put back the whole brain into a homeostasis. But there's still little.
It's not easy.
There's some little creases in there that I get little jerky.
They're paths. They're the neural paths that you're trying to rearrange, and put weeds there and create healthier ones. It's building new habits.
When that rage, and you know what I mean. When that the Hulk, I call it the Hulk. It's like
I call it the dude.
Yeah,
I have a dad and a dude. The dad's just the cool dude, and then the cool one. And then the dude had to be created to protect the dad when he was bullied, made fun of, beat up, sexually assaulted, all these things that happened in my life. I had to create this dude, which is this overwhelming, charismatic, crazy, persona that would make people like the dad, not abuse the dad.
There you go.
And that's why I called it like the dad and the dude. You can call it the wolves, you whichever wolf you feed, there's a lot of different scenarios, but most men have those.
They have a rage inside of them, and you don't ever want to know what that real rage in a man is. And women think that they know, but I will tell you, men know what men rage is. Men, you will show another man rage, and they usually don't do it in front of women. But true man rage never comes out in public unless it's something. But people don't realize that. But anyway, men do have a great role in society. And if you guys just let us do our job, you guys would have a sweet deal going on. No, you girls wouldn't have to work. You could be doing your little lattes in the morning and not have to go anywhere. But no, you're boss ass bitches. You don't need us, men. You go out there and get your old dollars, man. You buy
the
your
worst
shoes.
is when married women listen to social media and then they become independent women. Though that's awesome.
My Instagram life. Why isn't all my dinners like this? I want my dinners to always be like this. It's like it's not. It's a PB&J.
Why don't I travel like that? It's like because you're laying in bed 6 hours a day.
Because you won't have sex with me. That's why we don't travel like that. Because if I felt better, we'd be doing a lot of traveling. Let me tell you. Anyway. All right, Joe. Well, we've chopped it up for an hour here almost. So let's get you out of here. Joe is a great financial planner. If you guys want to do anything with him, get a hold of him. This guy will help you out. Obviously, he's personable. He has a sense of humor. He knows what he's doing. He's got the backup to do it, and let him help you out if you want to. Joe, what's that website for you out there?
It's www.ironhawkfinancial.com. And if you want all 3 of my 5-star rated books on Amazon, Being Your Own Bank, there's a better way than a 401k or long-term care without long-term pain. If you want my articles, magazines, websites, webinar, my radio show, Money Talk with Ironhawk, just go to learnwithhawk.com. Learn with Hawk, pretty simple. Fill out the information. Let us know that you heard us on Jim Price. If you end up doing any business, I'll be sponsoring Jim Price Show, and he gets a little kickback because I love him and he's the man.
That's it.
So these are the things, like, just go to learnwithhawk.com. I can teach you. It's absolutely free. I never charged a client $1 in 24 years. Never lost a client $1 in 24 years. Wow. I mean, you could say that legally. Yes, I can. So I do what the millionaires and billionaires do. It's pretty simple. If you want to learn, if you want to keep dealing with the government getting screwed, having Wall Street steal all your money and the federal and state government steal all your money, have at it. Yeah. Like, I'm good. I got 4,000 clients. I don't have to work anymore at 42 years old. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely.
I'm just trying to help people.
I took my $12 out of the system years ago, so I'm over here holding on. So one day, if I rub them together, they'll make babies, right? Anyway, Joe, thank you so much for being you, buddy. I do appreciate your candor, and it's been an awesome interview. Thank you, sir.
You're the man, Jim. I appreciate you allowing me on your show and using your platform, and I have nothing but great things to say about you, knowing you for years. Thanks again, brother.
We'll talk soon. We'll see you. All right, bye-bye. Okay, what a great interview that was with Joe. Guys, listen, this is the world we live in, and I want us to be a little bit better in this. Why did that jump like that? God, come on, computer, do your thing. Do your thing. What? All right, stop playing tiddlywinks here. All right. That was me playing Tiddlywinks. You guys remember Tiddlywinks? Tiddlywinks. Why would you name it that? Well, anyway, I remember Tiddlywinks. I don't think I ever played it since it's probably been 50 years. I probably played it when I was very, very young, and I do remember the name. But anyway, All right, guys, I am going to get out of here. Remember the 10% we do for our neighbor, community, city, county, state, the federal government. The more you do for them, the less they have to do for you. Learn how to be selfless and not so damn selfish. The world will be a far, far better place. Remember, hold the line, hold fast. Do not give up. Do not give in. We'll win. I promise. I promise I can't keep, guys. You've always been the answer out there. Remember that Constitution that limits the government? Well, it never limits you. So understand your authority. If you give your authority to the government, well, they're going to take it. Da-da-da-da. Or if you know that this is a constitutional representative republic, you will govern yourself and you will hold your government accountable. So you have to manage you first before you can manage others. And this is where I don't think people understand what leadership is. Self-governance, being able to maintain yourself, is what gives you the permission to actually look out and see if you can help others and then guide them on a path of leadership as well. It's magic when you all kind of slow it down and quit getting all emotional and crying about it. All right, guys, and I mean those whiny liberals over there. All right, guys, that's about it for me. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. You guys all be good to each other out there.